Triple kill goes in for the Rumble, and every member of H2K is popping off.
So far it's 3 for 1. Che may get shut down when H2K are running for their lives. And Unicorns, good response.
They're making this look all too easy.
This will be G2 finally pushing through and defending the undefeated record. Well, Ignite just pops his ulti, Trashy.
Speaking of ultis, Trashy wanders right into it, and Senkus turns into a bevy of Misfits members. They take him down, and back to business on Baron.
To the European LCS tonight, it's going to be a blockbuster. 4 teams in the top 2 positions of Group A and B, tussling to assert their dominance in the absolute best that European League of Legends has to offer. There we saw Probably there was the fantastic Ari cosplay, blowing us a kiss, as well as Romain with his lollipop. That's the way to get in the zone, not judging here, as well as members of the Unicorns of Love getting ready. Goedenavond, I'm Evie Schoggesepoorter, and joining me is James Stress O'Leary and Martin the Fishio Lunga.
So excited, I'm throwing my pen around in the intro, everything's gone wrong.
I love
Who
the
needs
Lunga
notes?
as well.
Yep, definitely back from Copenhagen after having some
Copenhagen?
pilsners.
Copenhagen.
All right.
God damn it.
Whatever. Right, as we move ever closer towards playoffs, here is how the teams stand. G2, H2K, the Unicorns of Love, and Misfits, they have 4 of the 6 playoff spots, and no team is guaranteed in a promotion tournament at this stage yet. Mathematically, it's still all possible, isn't it?
Technically, yes. I'm gonna say Origin are pretty doomed down the bottom. Like, they have to beat the top 3 teams in their group to kind of make it out. And then also Vitality, obviously, if they win another game, they're 100% locked in that 4th place.
Group A not quite so straightforward. A lot of games still to be played that has a lot on the line between Rockets and Giants. So.
Yeah, and Roccat yesterday, they made a fantastic statement. They won their 3rd, or won versus rather, their 3rd opponent in a row. They had previously beaten Vitality and OG, and now also Fnatic.
And I love watching this kind of, story where a team is so bad for the first few weeks and then they slowly improve. They actually manage, keep the momentum.
Nobody had expected it, to be honest.
No one expected them, to bounce back right now. So beating Fnatic was obviously a new high for Rocket, but also a new low for Fnatic themselves. And it actually means, as you said, people are fighting for that playoff spot because Giants and Rocket can catch Fnatic fairly realistically.
Yeah, and for now, Rocket has leapfrogged over Giants, and more importantly, first time a bottom 4 team has beaten a top 6 team this split, just to emphasize how monumental those wins are for Rocket. On the other side, though, Vitality in Group B, they managed to get their very first 2-0 victory over OG.
Yeah, and this was an improvement again out of Vitality. We saw them go from strength to strength. The Nuke Duck, specifically in this series, was looking on form as ever Nuke Duck does. Can't really say it every week, but Nuke Duck really punished Origin heavily, especially with that Echo game. Origin brought in Syncrov. It fixed a couple of issues, but generally Origin still had the same problems.
I feel bad for him, man, because there's no way to shine right now on a team like this when nothing works and you're down in the bottom as well. And he obviously wants to prove, he can be a good enough LCS player, but it's difficult.
Had a good debut, in my opinion.
His debut in that situation, you can't really ask too much more from him, but, maybe we'll see him settle in, and by the time promotion tournament runs around, might be a different Origin.
We'll see what happens, and tonight is a showcase of the best European League of Legends on offer. We'll be starting the night with a battle between the top 2 teams in Group B and ending the night with the top 2 teams in Group A. And during that second series, the Fishio here will be heading over to EULCS 2, joining H2K's Odoamne and Fnatic Soaz for a special top lane week stream.
Hype.
What can we expect?
Hype. We will talk a lot about tank matchups, Gragas versus Nautilus, Maokai versus Nautilus. I can keep going about these tanks up top lane because that's all they know anyway. And maybe Source will tell us about how to avoid maybe dying 5 times in a side lane.
I think it's massive BM that you ask these people to join you on stream and now you're like, boom, shots fired everywhere.
Nah, come on, it's gonna be hella fun. We're gonna have some cool topics. We're also going to talk about the rest of the game, but we will focus on top lane.
Yeah, it would be fantastic. Well, as we celebrate our top laners, we also want to hear from you. Tweet at LOL Esports using the hashtag #AskATopLaner, and we'll be answering some on Twitter and, of course, as always, in our post-game lobby. For now, though, first tonight, it is a fight for first place in Group B. H2K will be taking on the Unicorns of Love, and the tables have turned since they last met in Week 2. The Unicorns of Love, they're victorious 2-1, which, in my opinion, was also kind of an upset, but now the tables seem to have totally turned.
Yeah, H2K looking a lot more consistent post-IEM. From that H2K Unicorns series, H2K, we were questioning a lot of positions in their early game, some moments in their fighting, whereas now, you look at post-IEM, everything about Dragon, Baron, objective control has been so clean from H2K.
And I'm not saying that, you know, a good team has shorter games and a bad team has longer games, but with H2K, the fact that they used to get ahead early in the mid-game and then they would throw away fights so the games got longer and longer, we don't see that anymore. And that's why the 5 minutes they've cut off is actually important to highlight, because now they actually managed to get a Baron and then they win the game. So it's a big change compared to what we used to see from these guys.
Yeah, but talk to me about the top laners. Odo Wamne versus Vizicachi, rank 1 and 2. And of course, our top laner stats video that we released earlier in the week. Who's the best?
I think for consistency, the man on your screen, he looks a little tired right now.
They're very consistent, very consistent.
I think Odo Wamne is the more consistent top laner. I think he's always going to show up, whereas Vizicachi, he's probably got higher highs in individual performances, but you see when he gets camped, he can kind of be a bit more of a liability. Sometimes he likes to play things like the Trundle, which can work, but is a lot more risky for Vizicachi. So I think if I'm building a team, I want the consistency of an Odo Wamne.
But sometimes having a guy who can go boom in the middle of everything is also pretty good, because where Odo Wamne always goes for the correct play, Chachi will sometimes gamble, take the 50-50, and if it pays off, you know, he gets a 1-0, he becomes a 2-0, 3-0, and he can suddenly take over the game. I think Odo Wamne can do everything Chachi can do, but I think Chachi will risk it a bit more, which is sometimes why he also falls behind. So he gambles with his playstyle, but he's individually very good, and that's why he's obviously ranked as one of the best top laners in Europe.
Definitely so. So as we look at it from a team perspective, who's going to win here?
I think, in my mind, H2K have had too much growth that, if anything other than a 2-0 happens in favor of H2K, I would be a little surprised.
Whenever a patch changes, I want to look at the Unicorns and be like, ooh, let's see if you figured out something before the rest, because again, they're normally very good at picking up some of the new trends. But I agree, like, I think H2K has been looking really good, like the second best team in Europe lately, and they're going to show that today and take down the Unicorns. I'm going to say 2-0 as well.
All right, I'm hearing a lot of H2K. So if the Unicorns manage to win, is it just off the back of those patch innovations, or do you have another in for them?
I think it is possible. If Unicorns are back with Hylissang and Chachi working well together for the last couple of weeks, hasn't quite been such a consistent setup for the two veteran players of Unicorns. If they're back on form, I think Unicorns can do well, but my prediction stays at 2-0.
I think there's also a chance that H2K, while they've been looking good the last few weeks, when they now face Unicorns and get to late game, that it can crumble again. I think the chance is definitely there. I still think Unicorns is a good late game team, and it's kind of another test in that sense for H2K post-IEM. Have you fixed your late game? If not, then Unicorns can definitely take games.
It's also a lot at stake, because whoever ends up first before the playoffs gets that automatic bye into the semifinals. This is also what they're fighting for. But for now, it is time for us to hand the torch over. We're almost ready to bring you the picks and bans between H2K and the Unicorns of Love. Krepo and Drakos, take it away.
Lame duo.
Thank you very much, Sox, Deficio. No one cares what you think. Good afternoon, everyone. Right. I'm Daniel Drakos, and joining me for this match is Mitch Krepo Vorspools. Feeling good? Feeling like some Deficio hate?
I mean, I'm used to Martin trying to come at the king, but he always misses, so it's fine.
Can't miss those shots, Martin. Now let's have a look, however, at who's going to be taking to the Rift today. Let's take a look at H2K first, who will be starting on the blue side in the top lane. Odo Wamne, jungle, Jankos, mid lane, Febvin, AD carry, Nuclear, Chase, support, and of course, Coach Prawley.
Yeah, Prawley really has forced a lot of progression in this team. H2K, comparing the first kind of round that they played, then the cross crew play got all better, especially after IEM. They really peaked, so I'm really excited to see if they can do it versus the Unicorns as well.
Well, and Unicorns of Love, their roster is no slouch either. We start to take a look at that now. In the top lane, it will be Vizicachi, jungle Xerxes, mid lane Exile, AD carry Samix, support Hylissang, and their coach Sheepy. And Unicorns of Love haven't had the best last couple of weeks, but the results still going in their favor.
Yeah, a little up and down for the Unicorns. I think this is a really important test for them to see where they rank, how much growth can they kind of acquire, especially now, just like the Physio pointed out on the analyst desk, a new patch, 7.5 Unicorns. They're pretty quick at finding these wacky new picks that other teams really haven't mastered yet. I think we could see Hylissang's Thresh come back today, for example, maybe some more all-in.
All right, you've been pitching me this Thresh Lucian, and everybody in the world on Twitter, everywhere, you got to run it down for me, Crepo. Why is the Lucian Thresh back? Is it back? What are we expecting?
I mean, it might be back. It's just basically Exhaust has been nerfed, which means there's a bigger gap between Exhaust and Ignite to the point where it's actually worth going for Ignite all-ins. Previously, you could just disengage with Exhaust all the time, but you could also play aggressive with Exhaust. Every support is kind of getting nerfs and getting tweaked. So combine that with the fact that Samix is pretty much of a really good aggressive CSer. Like this guy's always up like 8 or 9 CS on average. With Hylissang, they may tap into that strength to beat H2K.
Well, right now the focus has not been on the bottom lane. We'll see how that evolves. But for now, the bans mostly remain the same. Interesting. We're seeing the Ivern banned away against Unicorns Love. They're responding pretty quickly with that at least.
Yeah, really, really good that the H2K target the conventional comfort picks with Unicorns. Because under the new patch, they have always played Chen throughout history because it really ties the map together for the Unicorns. Where in times where their macro wasn't the greatest, Shen was a really good solution to that, and obviously at the start of the season, and even in the last match that they played against each other, Ivern reigned supreme. It was that Ivern-Katarina combination that really destroyed H2K in teamfights.
Beautiful performance coming in from Exile, but also some sloppy team fighting coming in from H2K. Yeah. And Unicorns Love, I mean, a team that's not going to hesitate to exploit that if H2K offers the same opportunities here. And Vlad, sort of the new flavor coming in from mid lane, now bound out against Exile.
Yeah, Vlad always pops his head up when everything around him gets nerfed. Good old lane counter LeBlanc is obviously nerfed into smithereens. Caps tried to play it yesterday, but didn't really work out that well. So it's a good ban on blue side.
Lee Sin taken away as well, so decent amount of priority on the jungle. A lot of comfort, as you said. Now, first pick priority, do we still expect? Well, there you go. Don't even get to talk about it. Camille locked in.
I don't think it's as 100% like necessary to pick Camille here. You know, with the rise of Renekton, you have a pick that can definitely lane against her. So a Graves would have been defendable here as a first pick. Some teams prefer Malzahar in this rotation, really valuing that lockdown potential. So it's not like Camille is the guaranteed flavor choice here, but it's definitely a good opener, especially since you can flex it.
Yeah, and that's the thing I want to know is this a flex pick like traditionally? Will most teams be prepared to flex this, or is it just those few teams on the side who are willing to throw it in support, throw it in mid lane?
I think after Mickey has shown that it actually is viable in a support lane meta, especially if you're going more aggressive, Che could definitely pick it up. I'm expecting it to go to Auto Omni, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if Che ends up playing it.
Okay, so decent amount of flexibility so far in the H2K draft, a little bit of unpredictability as well. UOL taking a decent amount of time on this rotation. They're going to grab LeBlanc for themselves alongside the Rengar, but heavy nerfs to this champion.
Yeah, so they still believe in the power of LeBlanc. A couple of pros came out and said, well, it's basically Talia right now. It's more of an AoE wave clear bot than the true assassin that she was. Rengar also got exposed at IEM, so Unicorns still leaning into that comfort.
Have to see what Xerxes has learned over the last few weeks. We got to talk to him after IEM. He's like, Karsa destroyed me, but I'm going to learn, I'm going to get better, I'm going to improve, and this is a good stage for him to show it, but you're going up against Yankos, and he's got that Graves in his hand.
Yeah, I was thinking here, is it going to be like Graves Malzahar, but then you remove the flex opportunity, maybe Graves Ashe? Something you can think about, but then you're playing low mobility carry into a stronger bot lane with Rengar and LeBlanc that can jump on you. Wonder which role H2K is going to fill in. Maybe a strong counter matchup in mid, to then leave the other lanes after the second ban phase. Something you definitely could consider.
Well, they're taking their time on this one, but it does look like it will be the Ashe in the end. So chalk that one up to right in the Crepo prediction.
I mean, I listed like 4 things. Whoa, prediction's right. Technically, this Camille could still go mid lane into the LeBlanc matchup. It's a matchup with a lot of dashes, but with the reduced delay on the distortion, I think it's actually playable for Camille.
And I believe we saw Caps and GBM play this mid lane matchup. LeBlanc was admittedly stronger at the time, as was the Camille. The GBM did come out on top on the LeBlanc. We'll see how these guys can handle it if that is the choice. But I think no surprise this year as the Renekton gets locked in. You already talked about it. This is kind of the new strong pusher in the top.
Yeah, it's a strong pusher, but it forces basically H2K with their first pick rather have forced Unicorns into locking this Renekton. Because if we go into ban phase 2, H2K can just ban out Renekton and maybe like a good lane bully like Gnar, for example, and then the Camille only has really good matchups left, really, especially if you pair that with a strong jungler. So Unicorns, even not sure where the Camille is going, they just default to the Renekton.
Definitely a safe pick. We've seen it rise in popularity in a big way. And as far as picks go in the top lane, it's super aggressive. We see so much kill priority going up the top side. Junglers always wanting to be there, whether it's to shut down the Renekton or for Renekton to shut down someone else.
The problem is with the Renekton-Rengar combination is that you can't use Renekton's like level 6 spike on a dive, or you can't really push the wave and go for a level 3-4 dive because it's quite hard with Rengar. So you see if now H2K kind of just lock in a strong tank in the top lane and flex the Camille away, they should be able to get through that laning phase scot-free, because Odoamne is actually a great carry player himself, so he understands how to carry lane. So by proxy, he also understands how to play against carry players very well.
Well, these are two of the best top laners in the EULCS, so having them on carry would be exciting, but for H2K, it's not just about the top lane. They need to think about more of the team strategy, and right now the strategy has been ban the bot lane from both sides.
I think HyunSang is actually considering just locking in the Thresh here or the Karma. So like right now with the bans that are out, Lulu, Zyra, and Malzahar, Karma support is actually insanely strong in a conventional manner, but I think Unicorns are leaving the option open to see if they want to play the Thresh.
Definitely having last pick priority on support. Not something we always see, something we used to see a ton back in summer last season. It was G2 who were flexing the support picks. Unicorns love mixing it up now, and H2K have to go in blind to this final pick, have to force something in the bot lane, and we're going to know now if it's that flex Camille, or if she's going to go into the top lane.
And they have to reveal their hand, pretty much just like you said. Where's Camille going? It's either top lane right now or support, and I think that's why Unicorns are leaving their support pick last, obviously. And it is indeed going to be top lane, so it's going to be the push poke lane here for H2K, but then so many supports have been removed of the pool here. Pretty much 3 banned out, a 4th picked.
So much pushing power if they do offer the Ashe Karma here. This lane was a terror to play against in 7-4. We'll see if that remains the case in 7-5. But Unicorns of Love really need to round out this composition with something strong, because right now, pressure in the bot lane.
And they're full on the early game right now, so I think it almost has to be the Thresh. Maybe a Bard if you want to lose gracefully and make picks. But even then, you're playing against quite a few champions with mobility. A bit harder to lock down.
Bard getting locked in.
It's the safer choice. Because if you play the lane as Thresh versus Karma Ashe, you walk up, you see the montage, you hook, they sidestep, the lane's over. At that point, you've lost. Because you get like a volley in your face, Mantra Q, W, the AD carry gets shielded, and you now lost 2 potions, and you're getting pushed in over and over and over. So the Bard is a lot safer. Unicorn's comp here, it screams picks all around.
Well, we've seen in the past too, Caitlyn Bard has been such a good setup coming at the Unicorns of Love. They love the ult into the trap, into the wall stun, so if they can catch anyone out, they are doomed, even just from those 2 picks. It looks strong, but I mean, is it all in the early game? Is there any late game
scaling?
returns?
I mean, late game scaling for Renekton really isn't the greatest. Yes, he is playing not really versus any tank, so in that sense, it's okay-ish. But yeah, all these champions scale rather poorly. H2K, I think, have a better late game. So they definitely need to survive the early pick attempts that the Unicorns will be firing at them. And I'm definitely keeping my eyes on HyunSang, on Xerxes, what's going to happen on the map if they roam together, if they combine those ultimates.
Have to see how they utilize these tools, how they adjust in this game, because H2K kind of going to be on the back foot from the early game in terms of raw champion power. See what they can do as a team, as a squad.
Yeah, definitely so.
Well, the battle for dominance in Group B is about to begin with Game 1 between H2K and Unicorns of Love.
Bot lane games are possible. We have the combo after all. Just be aware that the disengage is pretty strong. We will probably play here around Rengar level 6.
Skirmishing is really too strong. Our team fights are not so strong.
Remember what we did last game, because you guys did that really well.
And every member of H2K is popping off.
3 for 2, and H2K are running for their lives. And Unicorns, good response.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. H2K on the blue side, Unicorns of Love on the red. The 2 top teams coming in from Group B. They're looking for a playoff bye. They're looking to dominate this matchup, and they've already got their sights set ahead.
Queso! They're cheesing here. The Unicorns go in. Did anyone spot this?
Febvin.
Pings come out. There's blue pings everywhere. I think they saw the portal.
The ward
this
goes
is
down.
horrible, by the way. Starting portal on Bard is useless.
No.
Because even level 2, after you just survive, like, you walk the lane with no spell, only an auto attack. You get 1 empowered hip slap, that's it. And then...
I mean, but Crepo, it's not like Karma's level 1 is really strong or
exactly,
anything.
Right? So you get hit in the face over and over and over, and then on level 2, you kind of want to take the health packs because like you're like, medic, somebody help me, and then you still don't have your stun. So if Karma and Ash here, Nuclear and Jay played as well, they could butcher this lane.
It's weird because we're like, Hylissang, you're not going to take the hook because you don't want to risk it on that montage moment. And I feel like he still kind of risked it on that montage moment because we know that would have been a highlight.
I mean, this is a really high payoff play if it works, of course. He's collecting chimes right now. He's trying to get to level 2 as soon as he can. Usually you actually leave them in the jungle because while you level up at 5 chimes, it's so worth to have them in your jungle so you can just use all your mana in lane, go pick them up, and then help to sustain.
Yeah, pretty much infinite health and mana sustain.
Here we go,
if you give
poke
enough
wars.
time.
Like, Jay doesn't even care about the push. They need to be careful, though, here on the side of H2K if they can actually get shoved in. Jay's first Q was solely on the champion. That's why the Q went on the range creeps right here. Small push lead router for Unicorns, but the next mantra will come up. Which means right here, the punish will come in. Yep.
Samix, yeah, pinned against the wall. No
That's
mantra, but still good damage.
And now they just need to deny. They're going to let the wave settle and actually not fast push. Maybe get a small lead on creeps here, a couple hits. But right now, H2K should stop pushing and just look to walk up and deny.
Well, we're going to see how they adapt. But this was kind of the one strong lane for H2K.
Yeah.
The rest of the lanes, super strong in the early game. But Caitlyn and Bard just not going to be able to outpush here.
Yeah,
and as you said.
Hylissang's trying to draw a creep aggro by getting alt attacks from Shay, so his creeps turn around and hit Shay instead. There was a small overpush from H2K, which actually facilitate the Unicorn bot lane farming on their tower right now. But even though H2K like slightly misplayed the push, look at the punish they're putting out on the Unicorns above bot lane. Because Hylissang has no trading tools whatsoever.
For now, H2K pushing in, continuing to control the dominance. They've got Jankos on that side of the map as well. You can see Jankos on the Graves, pretty comfortable to push in, but down in levels compared to Xerxes so far.
Yep.
Taking a little bit of harass here, but Hylissang just spotting him out, letting him know where the junglers are.
Yeah, Xerxes started with the Korean clear, full clear on top side, but then he predicted Jankos' invade. It's pretty textbook. Pushing lanes very often lean on that side and have their jungler come in for the invades. Xerxes actually has a really good map read here, and the Unicorns, they're playing around H2K's strengths very well in the early game.
Now he's set up to kind of control the top side as well, which has been a huge strong point for the Unicorns of Love, and setting Chachi up for success here as well.
Now look at these guys, man. These are the two best top laners in the league facing off against each other in what is actually a volatile matchup. So I'm really glad we see Camille versus Renekton here and not just a Nautilus matchup. One thing we have to point out, we see damage rating in the bottom on the screen. It basically is a metric that compares the average damage people do on a champion versus the way Vizichachi and Odoamne respectively play it. So if you give, for example, Camille to Odoamne, he's expected to get 16.8% more damage out of the champion compared to the average. So these guys consistently do more damage with the same champions as other players. That's why they're so good top laners.
Yeah, this is measured across wins and losses. It's compared to LCK and NA as well as EU. So you have a huge sample size here, and these guys are still just doing so well compared to the rest of the teams in the league. And I mean, you got to wonder, one gank goes wrong. The carry potential from either of these guys on these champions can just blow this game wide open.
Yeah, Xerxes has switched his side control to the bottom side of the map right now. Samux looking to survive. These guys see us very well in lane. Hylissang and Samux have one of the best CSDs at 10 minutes as a bot lane. We're going to see how they survive now with the lane deficit early on, and this is a good trade from Vizichachi.
Odoamne taking a little bit of damage. Tack Sweep gets health back, but still losing out very hard there.
And this is one of the reasons Renekton came to be a meta pick, because people needed an answer versus Camille, especially in the era when it was always Camille, LeBlanc, Rengar on purple side. They needed an answer. They say, like, we can't keep doing this over and over.
When you think about it, too, I mean, you look at Tactical Sweep, you look at Cole the Meek, right? Two very similar skills in what they do, but Renekton just gets to leap into the wave, heal up any damage you do to him. I honestly hate when this champion's in meta because it gets picked in solo queue and no one ever survives their lane against a Renekton.
Double control word here being revealed by Xerxes. He finds one. See if Jankos wants to contest rather the second one. If that's been communicated, that's one's been placed. Xerxes is going to peace out.
Still spotted out though, so that knowledge not going to be put to use quite yet, but Unicorns of Love, they are hitting that level 6 point soon, and that level 6 Rengar kind of has to be the center of our attention to see what he does. Kevin.
And little fun story about Febiven. He was on the analyst test the other day, and previous to his arrival, we had Exile, and we asked Exile who's the best mid laner in Europe, and he went Perks. It's like Perks over Febiven, definitely. And we asked him why, because Perks is just a better player. And I'm not going to say Febiven was triggered by that statement. He was just a little shaken up. So now he really wants to prove himself versus Exile, and they're doing so in quite a skill matchup here. Especially with the delay on distortion, it's much easier for LeBlanc to get charmed by an Ahri in lane.
Jankos is here to back him up, though. Exile may be looking for the 1v1. H2K not looking to give it to him.
Oh, he's this clone. Super smart. Because he went back for kind of the second wave of poke right there. Exile always dashing out instead of in. Now he's under pressure by Jankos. Sidestep, good move.
Jankos maybe just trying to pressure out the lane here. Definitely wasn't going to come out on top in the trade, but it is still damage down onto Exile.
I really like that usage of the clone here. Really smart LeBlanc play, absorbing the charm right there.
We did say this champion's going to be nerfed. We don't expect it to be quite the powerhouse that it once was, but clearly the mechanical skill is still very important in this matchup.
Yeah, that's mostly reading from pro player predictions, but if you've ever listened to a Doublelift interview, you know they can also be wrong.
Ooh. 50-50 down the middle.
Yep. 51. There we go. H2K won. It's over. Back it up, boys. We're going home. This one guy in the crowd is furiously texting on his phone right now. Hashtag UOL win. Hashtag UOL win.
Look at this is the time, folks. Just make 8 Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
At the end, though, I mean, these are two very strong teams, and we've got a lot of games that we kind of expect to be one-sided, but I honestly have no idea what to expect from this one, although
I expect a gank.
Not quite so comfortable. He's going to get burned down here for sure. No chance to call the Meek again. No chance to heal up. First blood drops for H2K.
I really like that movement there. Going to the blast cone as the Jankos jumps over. Odoamne immediately locks up Vizicachi. He cannot dash, flash, or get out in any way, shape, or form. And obviously, unless he kills Odoamne, he's locked in there. And then Jankos has so much damage. I really like this combination. Any CC, laner, or jungler combined with the other guy having tons of damage is really good setup for top lane.
And I like the way Odoamne is itemized as well. Gets the cloth armor, gets another Dorans, knows that he just wants to win out on the early game. And I mean, it pays off right there. The team playing very well around that snowbally top side.
It's obviously the League of Ninja Tobbies. That's where it's the cloth armor is going into later. And Jankos, he arrives. Vizicachi wants to get out. Unless he flashes right on that spot, Odoamne will just chase, get the ulti off. Super easy gank.
Oh, just such a tough spot to be. You can see Odoamne pretty close to death there, but Renekton's so reliant on those spells to output damage. Once he blows the combo, just not a whole lot left for him to get.
Yeah, Xerxes been doing a good job though. Stole away the enemy red buff right there. Playing quite aggressive. Oh, Febiven. On a control ward.
Double snare.
That's a huge opportunity miss right there for H2K. That could have been a one-shot kill.
And that's exactly what they need right now, because despite the kill going in their favor on the top side, gold's still very much in the favor of Unicorns 11. Yeah, Camille got the assist, but 54 to 78 in CS. I'm sure Chachi still got the gold advantage here.
Yeah, and those are also plays right there that we saw in the mid lane that could influence a player's kind of a mental state. Missing a free ability like that charm is going to upset you, because this guy, Febiven obviously respected Exile enough to maybe do the fake juke as he walked through the brush, you know, to expect Febiven being there, but he just walked straight in. He didn't carry. He had no clue Febiven was in that brush.
It's the next level of mind game.
Mithi, in better days, used to tell me how he would dodge hooks and skill shots. He would basically click in a direction and just get his hands off his mouse, so he could no longer influence the direction, so the enemy had no clue if he could ever juke or not. You know, the guy would just walk straight, pick an angle and walk.
That's the classic strategy. That's the you don't know what I'm doing if I don't know what I'm doing.
Just clicked on a random button. You know, finally find that control ward. It's been there for ages. H2K's river control is dwindling right now, so Che, he will need backup if he wants to get that vision back, because right now Hylissang's level 6, Tempered Fate, very easy pick off.
And Hylissang, you know, this is kind of a champion we expect a lot of playmaking from. I like that you were talking about Thresh, because that feels like a Hylissang champion to me. Bard, Morgana in the same kind of wheelhouse. Don't think we'll see Morgana again, but the Bard, potential to find an engage here.
Yeah, hoping to just get a flash out of nuclear, right? Yeah.
Gets it.
Every time. It's free. And these guys, man, they get punished so hard by the losing matchup, starting Magical Journey. Look at the CS. There's CS lead on Samux. Like, this is not supposed to happen. These guys are really strong in lane as a duo.
And I mean, there has been some criticism for Samux. Yeah, he can't always go toe-to-toe when it comes to individual plays against some of the other top 80 carries, but this man lanes like a god. However, Odoamne got a hook shot, wall dive out. Now locked up. Chachi's still walking forward, but Jankos has so much damage they can't afford to chase this. Chachi now going forward, but he's going to get locked up. There's nowhere he can go. He's not under the tower, however. Can he turn this? He needs just a little bit more damage. Odoamne flash out. Chachi gets one. He wants to turn it back. He's going to get the double. No, Febiven is here. They're going to shut him down, but that is so close.
Yeah, you can really see the power of Renekton right there. Febiven almost jumped over the wall to go for the pickups. He wanted the scraps right there, but Jankos, he was yelling for help right there because they found out that if you get him low, Jankos! No! That's greedy.
You can't disrespect the man in the mid lane. Exile's not taking it, and Febiven, he wants a little blood back.
Yeah, Xerxes here too, but there's actually no fall damage here, and there's no ulti on Febiven. They didn't want to go for the risky plays. Unicorns showing restraint here, getting a net win.
Good play. I mean, just beautiful mechanical plays from both sides, but
yeah,
wow.
Ooh, he still gets hit by the Q, trying to sidestep here. Now Vizicachi goes for the turn. Yeah, slice and dice. Ultimate comes out. That is so destructive. The AoE from that ultimate And just kind of the rage gain that you get. It's so hard for Jankos, who's now out of mana, has to flash out as well. And
Dominus, the auto, the Tiamat proc, the empowered Cold Amik for healing. It's so close to just turning against H2K.
Why is Jankos? Jankos wants experience. He's like, give me that XP. Exile's, oh, you can get some experience. I really like that combo. W into flash. Much faster travel time on the flash, obviously. And then the good old jump back. Very well played by Exile.
Breaks the distance, shuts him down. Now Hylissang's got the ultimate again, and they know there's no flash from Nuclear. Can't see if they got spotted in the bush, but they have to play smart here.
They can't do the traditional play where you want to go Magical Journey over that little wall, but if the Graves is waiting for you, you will get screwed. Hylissang, he's just, yeah, he's trying checking it. So if you use W on Bard, you get a brief moment of vision. And obviously if you place it on the location, you can always see if there's a control ward or not, or if somebody's hiding in the brush.
Well, vision's important. I do want to shift our attention to the mid lane, because that's a proto-bout LeBlanc Crepo, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know how to feel about that.
I mean, it's all about assassination, getting close and just getting the raw damage out. It's a decent item on the first spike. Obviously later on, doesn't scale that well.
And of course, the percentage scaling per bolt went down a long time ago. Still a very powerful item, not quite as gross as it was on release. Exile blocks the charm again. Now going to hop back, proto-belt to safety. Fevin's still running forward. In comes Xerxes. Is he going to commit to this dive? Exhaust drops from Shay. Xerxes may be the man in trouble. Nope, cleanses it out. He's going to walk away.
Exhaust still useful. Oh, he's going for the tower setup into Nuclear, into trap, into Q.
Chain CC, but Samix is now the one locked up. Hylissang just tanking the tower for him. Continues to start damage. Flash back in, exhaust. All from the Caitlyn. Oh, not quite enough.
Poorly executed dive from the Unicorns because they were scared of the teleport, but Chachi, he was close enough to auto to stop them, so there was a brief window of hesitation here. But that play still nets the Unicorns' teleport advantage. We need to see what they can do. They're already pushing bot lane. Next Temper Fate will be up roughly in a minute, and then Viz Chachi can actually teleport down. That is the play the Unicorns are looking to set up right now.
And no heal. Flash may be up for Nuclear. Not a whole ton of time left, but if he doesn't have it, you know they're going to lock him down. Can't be too bad for him at this stage. 71 seconds away, so Tempered Fate should come up first.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we need to shift more resources to the bottom lane, but the top lane's been so rough for them already. I don't know if they can afford to.
And they just have a really good setup, you know, with Odoano's ultimate and a high damage Graves right here. They're looking to repeat the same play they did earlier, but you're not quite sure about where Xerxes is, and obviously Vizichachi is playing with much more respect once the wave hits the turret.
And this is, when we look at it, not quite the game we may have expected initially. Unicorns of Love, we said they have the early game composition. They're executing it so well. They're starting to build early game leads. And for H2K, kind of surprising recently to see them not have a massive lead in this early game.
Yeah, they've been playing well, but their ramp-up time really is post 20 minutes, though. If you look at the gold graphs, especially later on, Hylissang now in trouble. Magical Journey will help him. What you really have to see is that at the start of the season, it went up and down for H2K, but ever since cross-group play, and especially after IEM, they had some really good progression, especially in the mid to late game. They have the highest gold lead at 25 minutes out of any team. I think it's something like 3,800 gold. It's honestly very, very high.
Doing so well to improve, I mean, adapting a lot. Other thing that we wanted to know was kind of team fighting from this team. We haven't seen that proven against Unicorns yet, but that is going to be a big factor as we move later in the game.
Yeah, but both teams are just playing skirmish and pick-off, though. And that's what we need to see. Is Unicorns of Love going to fall in that same trap where they all hide in the bushes next to mid lane? Are we going to see better vision? Because I think Che and Jankos have actually been doing a great job getting vision together, and Xerxes and Hylissang need a bit more work in that department.
Well, right now, Hylissang and Samix still bullied out under the tower.
I mean, look at the vision. Triple deep ward. Unicorns, they don't know if this is coming. They can expect it, but even then, they're stuck under this turret.
Hylissang.
He's face checking. Face checking for vision. Right there, he could have died.
All right, good job, Observers. Definitely trolled me. I thought he was dead 100% there.
And that's the point we're making here. H2K almost respected them to have some vision somewhere. I don't think they are actually aware of just how big their advantage is in terms of vision.
I mean, we look at it. There's 2 control wards on the map. 1 green ward, 2, maybe now 3 as they get placed, but so little, whereas H2K own the bottom side of that map. They have lit up everything, and that's really risky play. Coming against an Ahri, this champion who can roam. Coming against
there's one ward that they need right there. Che just passed it around the corner. You don't place it in the brush, you place it over the brush. And right now, Vizichachi could teleport down and they could look for Tempered Fate. That's why Jankos is obviously, yes, that one, Observers. Dramatic zoom on the ward.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Xerxes said, I guess what they're trying to do here, guys. Exile's coming too. I don't know, man. It almost looks like Unicorns are planning a party in the bot lane. The H2K members.
Do love parties.
Yeah.
H2K, they don't want to attend this party, however. They're just going to back off.
They're waiting for their invite.
It's a little rude, Unicorns of Love. I mean, you don't throw a party at someone else's house and then not invite them, Crepo. I feel like that's rude.
They come in for the cake, they eat it, and then they leave. Take down the first turret. Unicorns with the bonus gold. Now 1,500 gold in the lead. But H2K, they have managed to play around the teleport disadvantage without losing any kills, at least.
1.5K, this is a good start from Unicorns. This is the early game we talked about, but isn't enough to kind of match the scaling that H2K have put together as we move later in the game.
Yeah, Unicorns, they just opted in very heavy. It's not like H2K's comp scales super well, in my opinion. It's just that Unicorns' comp doesn't scale at all. They have very early game oriented picks. They're obviously playing versus Exhaust and Che as well. So it's very easy to shut down burst mages, because while Exhaust got nerfed, guys, it's still really good versus the likes of LeBlanc. If you can buffer it, find her as she's flanking, if you have that vision, you just pre-click it. And when she jumps in, all her combo gets exhausted, and that's not enough.
The classic, the most frustrating spell to play against. We all cheered when Exhaust, well, not all of us. AD carries cried when Exhaust got nerfed.
I mean, some of them did. Hillsang is taking a lot of liberties moving around the map. This is the type of play that gets him punished very often.
Doesn't get him punished there, and we did say we wanted to see more vision coming down from Unicorns of Love.
The difference is that when Jankos and Che do it, they kind of move together, or they're 100% sure of where the opponent is. I mean, Hillsang is just making very accurate guesses in this game so far.
He's just on another level, Crepo. Doesn't even need the
he may very well be. There is a way to deduce information in terms of back timings that you can safely face stick rushes, but it's quite hard.
Fevin locked up. Snare does land. Hillsang not going to throw any out any follow-up.
It's so hard because Fevin can always flash or dash out. At this point, they really need to make that ulti stick.
The vote has now shifted.
That guy, man.
This is election night updates.
Nuclear.
Oh.
Flashes out. Xerxes should have him.
Oh, goes in. Is locked up for a few more seconds. Can Che get there in time? Heal. Makes it out to safety. Not at all what Unicorns of Love wanted. Nice escape in the end.
Yeah, Hillsang trying to lock him down. Buys more time. Che was in time with the reactionary play there. Could have been executed slightly better, and you can see Unicorns of Love haven't really practiced this Bard Rengar combo too much and aren't communicating that well.
Unfortunate. May have been able to get it without that. Oh, Odoamne now
nice
caught out, though. Flash out. Zachachi goes forward. He wants a little bit more. Odoamne, what are you going to do? Does use the shield, uses the parry, but it's not enough. And vulnerability on the ult, not going to save him from the constant damage Renekton is dishing out. And Unicorns of Love grabbing a dragon as well.
Yeah, Chase Nuclear survives, but Unicorns of Love still get a win on both the top side with the kill by Zachachi, and they get a win on the bot side with that dragon here. They're on complete control of this early game.
And it's so crazy. We see, first blood dropping for H2K. We see first up for Unicorns of Love, rather, and they're just making plays across the map. They're dominating here.
Yeah, and it's really good movement from Vizichachi. He knows at the corner there, he's always going to have his body overlaid with that one of Odoamne's, and he just simply can't get out. And this is obviously the reason Renekton, we talked about it before, became a meta pick, because he's really strong into the Camille, and the early flex is actually being punished here.
So solid for this team. And we see H2K, I mean, 80% dragon control rate coming into this game, and Unicorns of Love are the ones just controlling the early game now. This is unprecedented.
Yeah, it's absolutely absurd. If you look at H2K's dragons conceded per game that they have played, they were in the best spot. They were in the first spot, and the team that was second conceded twice as many dragons.
Yeah,
and then it went all the way down.
Give away less than one dragon on average per game.
Yeah, they give
G2,
away
who's second, give away double that, I believe?
0.7 is what they give away. Now Exile's in trouble. And now he will likely drop because Fevin can't chase here. He needs to get the Blast Cone.
Blast Cone, yeah, definitely going to be safe there. Now comes Cersei. Has Fevin overstayed as well. Come flash to the wall, but it's Hillsang and the Baron as well. Just trying to dish out the damage. Fevin, one shot going to connect onto Hillsang. He's actually going to go down. Baron turns against him. Now the fight has gone crazy. Cersei goes in. Arrow locks him up. Chachi wants to do something, but there's too many members. Trying to heal up just a little bit, leaps into the backline, wants to get a little bit more. Where's the Cole the Meek? Charm stops him for just a moment, but Exile's still here. Samix is going off! Unicorns! They crushed the fight!
Vizichachi's Renekton bought so much time in the front line. He really sucked up the damage. And now finally we see what we've been waiting for from Samix. Aggressive performance in team fights. Very often was he afraid of skill shots and kind of backpedaling in the fights. He went for the aggressive flash and he finished off 3 members in total, I believe. No, 2 kills on the board right there. Super well played team fight here and skirmish by the Unicorns.
The whole team just opens up space for Samix to work. They say, here, you want to shoot people? We'll give you the time. We'll give you everything you need.
Yeah, we were talking about these dragons before this replay, and Unicorns overall are just bucking a lot of trends for H2K. H2K are on the offensive on this play. Look, Fevin goes, but Exile is buying so much time. Respect Flash, dash, uses the Blast Cone. He completely neutralizes Fevin, who's now also out of the fight because he overextends. And this is something we have seen from H2K in the past, where they overcommit on a call. but it looks so good. At this point, H2K can disengage, but they get baited into the fight looking so good. Just look at Vizicachi. This is a 2v4, by the way, that the Unicorns are winning, and eventually Exile gets the Honey Fruit and he jumps back in. But this flash from Samix is absolutely beautiful to watch. All the eyes were on Vizicachi. He single-handedly carried a 2v4 right there.
And you look at that too, that's got to be the worst spot to be as Fev in. Maybe the worst spot to be for Otawamne. Gets a little bit of damage mitigated by using the ultimate there, trying to run to safety. He's going to drop, and Unicorns Love, they're just going to pick up another kill here, making it look effortless. Now the 1v1 on the bottom side, Cold the Meat goes in, Feviven's running for his life.
Yeah, Feviven trades 3 dashes for 2 here. Vizicachi is such a beast on this Renekton. Really putting the team on his back right here with the pressure. And all that deep vision we talked about earlier, Dracos, it's fallen completely apart for H2K, and they can't actually move deep enough anymore without dying.
Yeah, now that the laning phase is over, they have no guarantee that anyone is where they expect them to be. Things going south very quickly. Nuclear still taking a ton of damage, and I just want to look at the top lane CS. 165 to 237. Vizicachi is crushing this game.
Yeah, and they're just going to start Baron here because they have 4 traps set up. They have an Exile LeBlanc lurking in the shadows right here, really keeping people away. A blue trinket is needed to spot it, but even then, even with the knowledge that Unicorns of Love are doing Baron right now, I do not think H2K can do anything.
A little bit of poke goes down on the yank. Goes H2K too busy clearing out the wards. And yeah, Unicorns of Love are growing low, but no one else there to fight them. They're just taking on the raid boss. Exile may be in trouble. Traps there to take him safe. Baron drops.
Super clean game by the Unicorns. And we talked about the trends. They're playing against a team in H2K that single-handedly, like, super easily swept away the Misfits. 2-0. This is a team that has been trending upwards ever since cross-group play. They had the largest leads at 25. They barely get behind. I think 18 out of 21 games or something, the H2K had a lead at 15 minutes. Like, they're so strong in this early to mid game, and the Unicorns, they come in and say, oh, no, I don't care about your stats. We're going to draft early, we're going to smack you in the face a couple of times, Exile's going to roll, and then obviously the hashtags come out.
Yeah, apparently the 50% win for H2K, that's fake news, Crepo.
Fake news, lies.
Unicorns of Love. Now looking to catch Che out, have the guaranteed stun follow-up, not going to throw it out. Ooh, are going to get 2.
Sexy binding. That makes me happy.
That skill is so hard to play against.
Because you need to rely on how your teammates are dodging. And all pro players dodging the same way, so if you hit 1, you're going to hit 2.
So clean. But right now, it's Exile split pushing.
Yeah.
It's Renekton on the bottom side. Maybe Xerxes going to be the one to get caught out, though.
Pops the ulti, wants to rotate. Unicorns are playing on 3 lanes, and this is something they did very early, and quite well, actually. They've definitely been developing their 1-3-1.
It's interesting, too, because this is what we saw from Exile right when he first joined the team. It was the LeBlanc, it was the pushing in the side lanes, but let me tell you, there's a lot more deaths in that column.
He definitely has refined himself as a player here, and he makes a statement against Feviven as well. Picking this LeBlanc, so many players are talking about how this champion is ruined. This champion doesn't see any play anymore. It's useless. Well, he picked it into Ahri, pressured the matchup, and he's definitely having a large influence on the map.
Yeah, has the Lich Bane, has the Merc Trez, looks like he's building toward the Void Staff as well, the Proto Belt. This man does a lot of damage. Has to be careful, though.
Yeah, we still need to look at Samix, though, because his comrades are falling off. Caitlyn on a 2-item spike is okay, 3 items, not the best versus other AD carries. The 4-item Caitlyn is where it starts counting, really. That is Unicorns of Love late game insurance, but then he needs to step up.
Yeah, but so often the late game for Unicorns is also backed up by an Ivern or a Shen. This time it's Samix against the world. There's not those supporting picks that they usually have, but they're so far ahead it might just not matter.
Yeah, definitely. Right now they're very comfortable. They pick up an extra Infernal, more late game insurance, and they're playing an early game comp like you have to. You have to snowball, get ahead. They're making picks, Tempered Fate. They're not getting punished by H2K for a lot of their face checks in the early game, and honestly, I think they demanded too much respect, and H2K gave a bit too much respect over to the Unicorns.
The EULCS stats team has just checked in. This is the worst deficit H2K have ever had at 25 minutes. We talked about earlier, this is where we expected them to turn it on, and it's just falling apart. Well, fight goes forward. Charm goes on to Hylissang, but there's no follow-up there. Tempered Fate not going to connect.
Just to scare him. This is what I could do to you. Next one's going to hit.
Watch out for the spooky eyes.
No wave clear from Exile.
Otawamne goes in. They're trying to shut down Samix. They know this is the scaling option. Heal comes out. Decent damage. That's 1 taken down, but the TP's coming in. Renekton's on his way. Otawamne just going to burn down to the Ignite. Hylissang flashes forward. Not going to connect.
Yeah, pretty rash play here from the Unicorns. Vizicachi came in with teleport. Otawamne obviously has his up if they can stall. And this is the first kind of failed attempt by the Unicorns, where they overcommit. They were not on the same page. They didn't connect their skill shots when necessary.
but Vizichachi's still going to get something out of it because they are so far ahead, because they had that bot lane in their favor.
And that's the beauty of a gold lead that is as large as Unicorns. It was 9,000, it's now over 10,000. When you play the early game that well, there's only decent plays and good plays you can make. This is not a great play, but in map-wise, it's actually a decent play because they still get the bot lane turret.
In an even game, that's called getting caught. When you're this far ahead,
that's
called baiting, creating space. That one's special.
Absorbing pressure too.
Oh, absorbing pressure. Creating space is my favorite.
Yep. Who was it? Steak. Steak was really good at absorbing pressure at Worlds. This guy just got ganked. Didn't really kill anybody, but boy, did he absorb pressure.
So much pressure. Monumental levels of pressure.
Do you like to absorb pressure in your games?
Is that what we call me losing every lane I ever play? Yes.
Yeah.
Absorb a lot of pressure.
I'm just making sure we see the jungler.
I lose in a 2v2 prep. There's no saving me. It's not even jungler. I just all in all the time. It's grim.
EULCS Xerxes looking for Temper Fate combo.
Could be grim for Jankos.
The map is tiny right now though. This is where pickums have a lot of a harder time closing because they need a Baron buff essentially to make 1-3-1 efficient. If H2K turtle up, it's much harder for Unicorns to find that one guy that's overextended, to find him alone.
And it's really rough for H2K too, because when we want to look for weaknesses on H2K, sometimes it's late game decision making, but for Samix, it's his decision making right now. Hylissang can't save the day.
And that is the complexity of playing 1-3-1 without sufficient vision. You need to tread carefully or you will overstep.
Unicorns Love still fine, still in control. Baron 2 minutes away. Ocean Drake next up. But can't afford to keep getting picked off like this. So much the pressure has been mitigated because of the missteps from Samix.
Yeah, and they're eliminating the vision. That's most important for Unicorns. They don't care if they drop a member here or there, as long as they keep the vision control. Because just like you said, 1 minute and 30 seconds, that's what we're waiting for, the next Baron spawn. If there is complete Fog of War control again for the Unicorns, it will look grim for H2K. They will need to use their one and single hawk shot right there to get the vision and make it move somehow.
Only the one blue trinket as well, so just not a whole ton of tools to spot this out when they're on the back foot. So desperate to just keep control of their own base that they're not even considering that they might need those trinkets in the future.
Yeah, and with Featherven itemizing slightly defensively, look at him. Merc Threads and Negatron Cloak. He only has 2 damage items, which means the remaining members of Unicorns of Love can actually invest in Ninja Tabis. Like, Vizichachi and Xerxes will be incredibly tanky in these fights because they're almost exclusively fighting attack damage-based champions. And it's so good to get Tabis versus them.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it. Camille, so much of that damage from auto attacks. Graves.
Yeah, auto attacks.
Graves. Ash.
Auto attacks.
Look at that. Not even a Lich Bane from Ari. Odoamne, though, he's definitely caught out.
Auto attacks.
Auto attacks.
His Ninja Tabi did not save him. H2K have 5 control wards in their inventories. They're ready to play the vision game, but Unicorns of Love are not allowing it whatsoever.
Choking him out at every point, looking for every opportunity to shut them down. Now Vizichachi's on the bottom tower, and H2K, they're going to have to respond, but Samix is in the mid lane already.
Yeah, Samix has a defensive barrier put up with the traps. All he needs to do is just flash over them if he ever gets threatened. This is a 4v5 for Unicorns with over 10,000 gold lead. This should be at least some hits on the base or a rotation towards Nashor.
H2K just holding on for dear life in this game. Members committed just to clear waves.
But just look at the vision. If you would toggle H2K's vision, they see absolutely nothing. They see Exile right now, they see Hylissang, but they have no clue what's going on. Are they doing Nashor already? They don't know. They just found out they are. So this is aggressive peeling from the Unicorns.
Hawkshot spots him out. This is bad news for H2K. 2 members getting locked up, but Exile and Hylissang, they're just buying time.
It has to be at like 2K.
Lower.
Yeah, like it should be done pretty soon right now. It's too hard for H2K to do anything.
Nothing they can do. Tempered Fate. Exile maybe can look for follow-up. Blocks up Nuclear. Che on the front line still. Unicorns Love, they get the Baron. They're just going to look to keep the push going. Hylissang, though, maybe looking to start a fight. That's not what you want to do! Don't take the journey! Oh, but Chachi's still alive. He's still dishing out the damage, but now he's locked up. Samix, it's all on you. Can you save the day? Unicorns of Love, have you thrown the game away? And yes, H2K, they're going to pick it right back up.
When somebody offers you a magical journey that looks too good to take, at least consider for a moment if you really want to go on that trip. Definitely not a great idea for Unicorns. What a throw, and this could actually be an opening here for H2K.
Odoamne, he chases down Xerxes. H2K now pushing up. Now Unicorns of Love, they have that big lead, but H2K, they're going to start to claw back.
First tower for H2K at 31 minutes in the game. A gift by Hylissang.
It's been a magical journey for H2K, that's for sure.
Sometimes, man, you start with a small portal. That's the problem, you know. And then you get The walls get bigger and bigger, and you're like, okay, I can make this. Oh, I can outflank them, and then you realize your team is going in by one. This is like the conga line of destruction. Strike this. This is okay. It's fine. Exil's half HP. I love the commitment though. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Simons is like, guys, is this a great idea? I'm helping. I'm coming.
It's like, guys, the Renekton was supposed to go first. Like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense.
We talked about the queuing order. And then really good E flashy from Fevin. Instant Captain Jack QSS, and
just up to this moment, it was so good, Crepo.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Macro play, they got the Baron, they choked H2K out. And then it went a little sideways.
They had room for failure. They built up some credit. And now we're at 8,000 gold. Actually, I love the fact that he made that play, because now the series gets a lot more interesting. And H2K have a way to fight back. Because remember, gold lead doesn't mean everything when there is a scaling difference. And more importantly, this comp needs Nashor to close the base. And Nashor is already running out. It's only young Xerxes.
All around the Rengar to try to force the push forward.
Ooh. This actually means we're probably going to stall until next Baron. And by that point, there should be like an extra item or so on H2K. I think they may just yield the Elder here as well.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of defensive items coming in from H2K. You mentioned it earlier for Fevin's build. He's now opted for the Void Staff, not the Abyssal Scepter, but still so little damage in the kit right now. So few damage focus, or so few items focused on pure damage. Really needs to be able to pop any member of Unicorns of Love quickly.
Yeah, this is what Odoam is trying to do every time. He moves with the team, and he wants to find somebody alone from the Unicorns, put him in the cage and beat him up. But then he has to deal with Vizichachi.
That's scary. You don't want to put Vizichachi in the cage.
Oh, definitely don't want a cage fight with him. Bard looking for Tempered Fate here.
Unicorns of Love. They're just trying to brute force. It's going to work now. Odoamne. Wall dives to safety.
Gotta let Vizichachi lead the conga. Very important. This man has rhythm.
He knows how to do it. Oh, just follow his lead. All right, let's follow the trend here. In goes Vizichachi. Out goes Vizichachi. Out goes the Unicorns of Love.
Yep. They have, they're setting up the Mighty V with the traps. I'm liking it.
Yeah. Let's see if they can get a little bit more. Arrow's going to miss. Exile hops over the wall. Things look good. That's an inhibitor down. It's slow. It's steady. Maybe it's not what we always expect from the Unicorns of Love, but they're making it work.
It's clean, and that's what they need to do.
Odo, that was brave.
He was trying to pick them off. His team was in support. They're much closer here. Right now, Jankos puts the poke here on Hillsang. Good portal.
That's one you definitely want to take.
I think H2K is going to commit right here, honestly, because they're now going to wait for Vizichachi to push in. But they missed the charm, so that's at least 6 seconds. Odo's going to go in.
Wants to get something, walks up Exile. He cannot hop to safety. Little Blanc is trapped. The Little Blanc is taken down, but the TP's coming in from Vizichachi. He leaps in on the nuclear, quickly exhausted, but Xerxes on the back line. Vizichachi is still alive. In comes Hylissang. In comes Samix. Xerxes the only one left. Now backing off.
Yeah, great timing from H2K. If they did not commit on that single second right there, they would have just straight up lost the game because his inhibitor would have fallen. They find Exile without any counterplay whatsoever, and then they peel Vizichachi with the exhaust. Now Odoamne gets stuck on a corner.
Tactical sweep doesn't quite connect, doesn't quite slow down the Bard, but that's the beauty of this Camille pick, something we don't often get to appreciate, as it's usually just dominating on a side lane, but you want to shut down a LeBlanc.
Yeah,
there's no better ult.
Exile feels so safe here with the dashes, but obviously once you're stuck in the cage, you're not getting out. And I really like the timing on that engage, because if they let Vizichachi teleport channel, it's probably over. If Exile plays a little bit more safe, it's probably over for H2K. So they buy themselves another life.
And H2K, I mean, backs against the wall. Still almost a 10k advantage from Unicorns of Love. They've got the Mountain Drake, the Ocean Drake, the Infernal.
Do not get this wrong. Unicorns of Love are still very much so in the lead. They're slotted to close this game. They have many ways they can do it. They can 1-3-1, 4-1. They can just 5-0, rush down a single lane. They can go for Elder. They can go for Baron Bait. The world is their oyster right now.
And we just got to say, I mean, once again, Vizichachi in top lane weak. We couldn't have written it better ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, just carrying the game here.
And Odoamne in top lane weak, he finds Exile. Look, no damage. This guy dashes into the wall twice, you know? Doesn't learn. Really good exhaust here. Everybody's peeling Vizichachi, stepping backwards. They still get Odoamne's GA. And then they can't chase at all. They don't have the damage anymore on the side of H2K.
Yeah, it's just such a rough spot to be, because Odoamne, he wants to leap to safety, but he has to hookshot wall dive into the Renekton to stop him from taking down more members of that team. But we said Unicorns of Love were going to be the team that resorted to camping and brushes. Now it's H2K.
And the tower fell really low, so they get the poke on Chachi. That's good, but this guy's just going to ulti up. More importantly, they need the wave dead. That is so important that that wave does not get access to the turret with the members of Unicorns of Love. If they just want to go in here, they can use the next wave to dash through. They can just instantly one-shot that turret. This is going to be a big explosive fight, I believe.
And between the Bard, the Cole, the Meek, the Elixir of Wrath that Vizicachi has running, he just heals up all that poke damage. This could be it, though, Crepo. This could be the final fight. H2K, can they hold on? Unicorns of Love, they're not taking the risk.
Yeah, very aggressive defense here from H2K. No more splitting by Unicorns either. But they're looking to start setting up the Nashor. Let's see at the wards. There's 3 of them, 2 left for Hillsang. Deep control ward, kind of wasted.
1 blue trinket up. Ash, Hawkshot should be up and available as well. So H2K can't get vision.
It's so hard if you're H2K right now. You're only just basing with Nuclear and Ottawa. They're giving away Nashor. Unicorns, they're hoping for a pick. Great job as well. Always push in mid first. Don't give them access to walk into the mid lane because those minions, they'll mess you up. And they don't know if H2K or if Unicorns right now have started the Nashor or not.
Exile just threatening, continuing to poke. Last time they saw this.
Yeah, that's the Hawkshot. That's what Unicorns were waiting for. H2K, they're pushing mid. They're doing the right thing. Chase stepping up. Finds Vizicachi, so they know they're actually not on the Nashor right now. This is good for H2K, but they need to run.
Looking for the flank. Tempered Fate, not going to connect anybody. Nice sidestep from Otawamne. But H2K, they're still not in the lead. They still need to play safe. Vizicachi caught up, taking a lot of damage. Out comes the Hex Tech ultimatum. They're looking to take him down. They do get him in the end. Xerxes tries to go into the side. H2K, they're pulling back, but Xerxes goes right back in to find a kill of his own. 1 for 1 so far. Unicorns of Love on the advance.
Yeah, on the advance. What a beautiful play from Otawamne. Not only does he sidestep Tempered Fate, he goes in on the right exact time to get Vizicachi, trades his life for a super fed Crocodile, and more importantly, they force Unicorns of Love out their major pick cooldowns. And right now, a pick comp without their major cooldowns isn't that strong. Yeah, just needs to be careful though.
Oh, it's out over the wall. Chains connect. Not enough burst damage there to take him down.
Yeah, they're all pretty much making a phalanx around Nuclear. He has to carry these fights in the late game. Exile is looking for a cheeky push. I like this.
Oh, he's just buying time.
He should commit it. Unicorns are on the Nashor though, while Exile's trying to split push.
Moving forward, they're forcing H2K back and forth. Where are they going to go? Are they going to defend the base? Are they going to contest the Nashor? What is left for H2K?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what Xerxes is doing with the ultimate. They're trying to buy time while those minions are ramming into the base. Vizicachi now has teleport. So this is going to be a decision. Vizicachi just teleport bot right now.
Oh, Unicorns tower just dropped.
If Unicorns disengage from the Nashor and Vizicachi teleports in the base, they can get 3 nips.
So pulling back as well. They're buying so much time. 4 members committed here.
Chachi's teleporting. They're going for the fight.
Looking for the flank. Here comes that Crocodile. Leaps in, does get locked up, but Exile, he's trapped in the cage. Otawamne snared up for a brief moment, though, buying a bit of time, but Chachi's unstoppable. He leaps forward, but he can't kill Nuclear. He does take down Febby, but the 80 carry remains alive as Unicorns of Love clean it up.
It doesn't matter. 4 H2K members followed. Nuclear did his best sidestepping and kiting, but it just simply wasn't enough. The Unicorns have earned too much gold, too many items, too much power, and on top of all that, they pick up the Baron buff.
Ooh, they build a lead in the early game. It gets a little sketchy on one Baron pay, but they're starting to close out clean. Unicorns of Love come into this series swinging. They're going to get it. They're going to take the fight, and they're going to take game 1. Little BM to cap it off, taking down members in the Nexus. GG, Unicorns of Love.
Yeah, early snowball composition really paid off, and but you gotta look at Exile, man. He picks LeBlanc early. He leaves the counter pick open to Fevin and beats him straight up, just beats him in the lane. Out pressures. You have Vizicachi, despite getting ganked by Jankos for that first blood, still smashed that laning phase. And then bot lane, we gotta remember, Hillsang started with Magical Journey. He's essentially just cannon fodder. He's like not in that lane. He's like a viewer, but he's actually not playing the game.
Yeah.
Right there. This is 1v2 from Samix. And these guys were still ahead in CS at 10 minutes.
Yeah, bad trades in the early lane didn't matter. Still went ahead in CS. And additionally, like when we looked at the series, it was early game versus late game, but we never thought it'd be individual lanes outclassing. Yeah. And it feels like Chachi was just playing on another level this time around.
I think every single lane, yeah, as you said, just outclassed them. Because you say bad trades, but like if this matchup is played to perfection, like this Ash Carmen with this start, and the H2K don't actually overpush on first wave, like it is much more brutal than what we saw. There should never be a world where Samix has equal CS without any influence of the jungle.
And at the end of the day, I mean, just kind of an insane game. Really good performance coming in from Unicorns of Love in Game 1. But let's see what the analyst desk has to say about that Unicorns Game 1 win.
We are super excited about how this first game went because, damn, that delivered. And first up, I like it when you guys are wrong, not because I want to laugh at you, because it gets us all
And yet
so
you're
excited.
laughing at us.
And it means that something out of the ordinary happened. And Unicorns of Love straight up dominating every single one of those lanes.
Yep.
That was the last thing on our list.
Yeah, I think we, you know, even in rehearsal and everything, we're saying H2K, every lane is solid. You don't expect H2K to lose in a fashion
No
like
weak
this.
link.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier on in the day. But Unicorns coming out, and despite what theoretically should be laning disadvantages with the Bard start and then a couple of plays in the early game, Unicorns just end up looking great. Like, I mean, Chachi, I love
And
it.
it's top lane week, so let's look at what went on here.
Okay,
So, how does this lane go?
Well, Renekton will always push early. Will always have the advantage. But when level 6 hits from Camille, you have to respect how easy it is to set up a gank. Chachi in this case here does not really respect it, but that again is something we see often from him.
Yeah.
He can TP back to lane, so he doesn't lose that much from it, and this is then the second play.
Yeah, you were asking me at this point, you know, Exile comes in, everything's set up. Okay, Unicorns, they see Yankos and back away. Now, what would Chachi do? Exile, he's gone away. What would he do, Deficio?
Well, when the team leaves you, you dive in and you get the kill. Look, we kind of spoiled it because he already dashed a little bit. We can just run it. Like, this is why we talked about Chachi having like these kind of like high highs, where he does the unexpected. Everyone expects him to just run back with Exile here, but he just dashes back 1v2, takes one kill, and yes, he will go down here, but then Yankos will also end up dying because he actually, sorry, I think it's Febren ends up dying because he tries to defend. It's Yankos going back in, it's Yankos, and one of them died.
Exile with the flash. And 29 isolated deaths, so when none of his teammates are around for Chachi, which really illustrates the point of high highs and sometimes very low lows.
Yes.
But in this game, though,
It worked.
he took over. Let's take a look at our next replay, which is a straight-up solo kill on Odo. He said, well, you killed me before? Well, this is what you get.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, you're looking at this lane continues, and Chachi has like 80 CS over
Yeah.
Odo. I mean, this is a beautiful block on the second hook shot attempt there out of Odo. I mean, Chachi goes in, stops him from getting out, forces the flash. Odo even tries to ult him under tower to kill him, but it's not enough. Like,
This is
Chachi's
why
so far ahead.
this is why you guys have to watch the top lane stream later, because then these kind of small matchups, these small little tricks will obviously get highlighted before they even happen.
Yeah.
Now Odo Amna has seen it firsthand as well, because Chachi knew, saved that second dash for the E from the hook there from Camille, and then used it to block her. Really, really well played, and that's what I really like here. Like, the matchups were explosive. Like, every single lane matchup, there was outplay potential. There was no like boring tank matchups anywhere. It wasn't farm lanes or anything.
No.
And then we got to see these players show the highest level skill, you know, match against each other here in Europe, and then we saw these different outplays. It was super fun to watch.
It was super, super fun to watch. We're also going to take a look at a fight where Exile does a really, really good job of saying, hey, you got me? No, you don't have me. Waiting for his top laner and the rest of his team.
And at this point, Febreman overcommits onto Exile. Like, Exile's got Proto Belt, he's on LeBlanc, finds a Blast Cone, everything gets him out of this. Camille is TPing late to this engage, and when we look here, there's a couple of decisions Unicorns can make here. You either try and chase the Ahri, you portal out, you hold things where they are.
The really good thing here is that Chachi is TP'd in a little bit early. You can see him on the minimap, he's coming in. Now, let's look at Hylissang. Hylissang can actually use his ulti on this no-flash Ashe when she enters the fight. She's down the bottom here. But Hylissang is like, nah, I need to get in her face. So he actually portals in, dies instantly, tries to ult himself. But it doesn't matter because they're insanely strong Renekton. Joined this fight early, and like, again, Chachi is like, he's not afraid. He goes aggressive. Could I use a different word there? I used aggressive instead.
Yeah, that was great. And Unicorns of Love dropped the ball then a couple of times, but in the end closed it out, and it's very positive for them. But we do have to point out Hylissang once again, though, because later that epic portal that you definitely didn't want to take, that is something that happens a lot. And of course, if you don't have as big of a gold lead versus a team like H2K in the next game, maybe that'll be an opening for H2K.
Sure, it is the crazy thing, obviously, about Unicorns and why people in the past were like, oh my God, this is like all over the place, inconsistent kind of style, and it still sometimes is, and you're 100% correct, you know, when Hylissang dives in and dies for no reason, it's not good, but the rest of Unicorns, especially Exile and Chachi in this game.
So, game 2, obviously, right now the Unicorns of Love outplayed in the lanes, and we're able to close it out, but I don't think H2K is gonna roll over and die.
I think this is the point where H2K go, okay, we tried to play the carry versus carry style top lane, ban the Renekton, Camille will be off the board, let's play 2 tanks. Let's play the H2K style.
Or take the Renekton.
Or take it for themselves, that's the other side. I think H2K will not have such a catastrophic top lane matchup again, and I think They will still close out 2-1. Obviously, my prediction was 2-0.
You don't have to highlight it. It's okay. Only highlight when you're right.
Yeah.
How we said that Chachi was an all-in player, high. You know, that was a good point. So see, it happened right there. Only remember to highlight the good ones.
Oh my God, you guys are so sweet to each other. Well, we are going to take a quick break because they need some alone time. Game 2 between H2K and the Unicorns of Love is coming up right after this. Don't move that mouse.